A sad story from the Daily Mail. Mitch McConnell freezes again. Republican Senator 81 sparks health concerns by suddenly stopping for 30 seconds. I'm going to play for you this video, and it's very strange. And let's make sure we have the audio going.
Senator, you're up for election in
Check this out.
3 short years. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, I had a hard time hearing you.
That's okay. What are your thoughts on running for re-election in 2026?
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
He's gone.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
No, he's not going. He answered.
Yes. He went, yes.
The response.
That was a quick
All right,
response.
I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a
Yeah.
minute.
Keep playing it. This just gets crazier.
He's not incapacitated.
I think they're trying to move him.
Yeah. Look at his hands on the podium.
Yeah,
He's holding on.
He's gripping.
Because he's going to
hard.
fall over.
Yeah.
Look how hard he's holding onto the podium.
He's trying not to collapse.
For sure.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
This guy's stroking out.
It wasn't a stroke.
Look at it. Look at him holding on.
He's about to fall. Look at him
And she's holding
wobbling.
his back. She can't get his arm off the
sad.
podium.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Whoa.
The moving his head around and he's looking. It's not a stroke. That's not what a stroke looks like.
He's. I think his blood pressure may be dropping. He may be about to pass out.
Where's anybody trying to help him? I'd be so concerned if I was standing there.
Speak up.
What efforts is Daniel Cameron going to have to make on the
Just
campaign
keep
trail
going.
to when Kentucky is over in November?
Senator Daniel Cameron, you have a comment on Daniel Cameron?
Well, I think the governor's race is going to be very close.
Dude, he's fried.
Yeah, he's out. He's out of there.
Why would they leave him there?
Because they don't want to show the camera that he's sick.
I don't. It's so.
The
dumb.
craziest point is this: when
All
she's
right, I'm sorry. Hear the question, Senator. Running for re-election in 2026?
Okay. Yes.
But he doesn't answer it.
I know. Just yes.
Yeah.
Like whoa. And then his hands holding on for dear life.
He was holding himself up.
He looks like he has full blown dementia to me. I worked in skilled nursing homes for a decade, and that's what it looks like. It's the same thing Joe Biden does. He does the same crap.
Right.
He's sundowning. He's like
And
probably sundowning.
the bursts of rage.
Yes.
That Joe Biden does.
And the ice cream.
Right.
The
yeah.
ice cream, man. We used to give patients ice cream when they started having their sundowning moment towards the evening. Give them ice cream and they'd forget all about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I see the guy with the ice cream and I'm like, he's sundowning, man. He's got dementia. He's sundowning. There's no doubt.
So there was that famous video where Joe Biden snaps at the reporter or whatever who asks about, I forgot what the issue was.
yeah.
And he's like,
Jobs. It was
jobs. He's just yelling.
Yeah.
And it's, what I was told is people who are suffering from dementia know they can't know. Like they're cognizant of the failing. A question was asked of me and I can't put it together and it's frustrating being unable. And so they get really angry and just go, and they have these outbursts.
Sometimes violently.
Right. Yeah. They get really angry.
This is the weakest I've ever seen a politician in the United States.
Have you seen Feinstein?
Yeah, they're all.
She's like in a wheelchair, like
she's barely alive. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like they're carting her around. She gave power of attorney to her daughter, and she's just being wheeled around. And they were like, "Now that you're back, are you gonna vote?" She's like, "I never left." It's like, ma'am, you've been gone for a long time.
I will say that I've seen a lot more politicians looking bad.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years than I've ever seen
the old
in
COVID?
my entire life. Or, maybe their adrenochrome supply ran out.
I wonder if COVID messed people up.
The old guard doesn't want to let go of power. The old guy, I don't know if this is like this. I'm younger here. I don't know if like in the 80s and 70s we saw something similar of these older politicians that wouldn't let go.
I never saw that.
They didn't give public speeches like this.
Yeah.
Well, what would the founding fathers have us do?
I don't know.
I think the issue is Mitch McConnell is just he's waiting for the Genesis device to be repaired in the basement of the Capitol building to rejuvenate him back to a youthful 20, where he'll then masquerade as an intern.
What a
and rise
loser
power
to
again.
think that this is what the most important thing in his life.
What did you mean by what
would they do if they had a guy with dementia in Congress? Like,
go home, man. Go home.
Would they grab him and pull him out of there and be like, "You're not allowed back in"?
I don't imagine.
No, that's not true. There was a bunch of politicians who were whacked out. There was like a Supreme Court justice who was out of his mind.
There's methods. Like if you want to know, all you got to do is look in the Constitution. Like there are methods to remove people from office, impeachment and stuff. there's a lot of times where like people are like, oh, well, what would they do? It's like all of the questions can be answered by reading the Constitution.
So if someone gets dementia, you impeach them?
Well, you could
you're
either
just saying the answer's in there?
For the president was 25th Amendment or something like that. But there's recalls. There's a way to do. I don't know if it might not technically be an impeachment because I think that's actually the trial to remove them from office. So there's
impeachment
other
is
methods.
the indictment.
Yeah. Okay. So it probably wouldn't be called an impeachment, but it'd be there are definitely methods to get people that are incapacitated or cannot fulfill the office. There are methods that the founders had to take them out of office. It's just that there needs to be an appetite for it among the population and among the people that are actually in power. That means people have to get in touch with their Congress people and their senators and be like, hey, or whatever, or if it's just Congress, maybe it's just a congressperson or whatever, but you didn't get in touch with them and be like, hey, this is a problem for me. I'm a constituent and this is a problem for me. So until people actually act, nothing will happen.
I will say that correlation is not causation, but I have seen a lot more politicians like this since the demise of Jeffrey Epstein, for sure. So could be an adrenochrome thing.
Like stress
now that Epstein Island shut
Jesus
down,
Christ.
Mitch is
Yes.
like
all of our. I mean, we're watching politicians do stuff like this on a daily basis. I'm like, they know it's not.
Now hold on there a minute. You realize Media Matters are going to take what you just said seriously.
That's okay.
And then it's going to be in the Independent and the Daily
Listen,
Beast.
I want to be very clear about my presidential campaign. We're running a very serious campaign, but I'm the first libertarian that's going to tell you as a candidate for libertarian president that I am not going to win the presidency. Okay, I'm not under any illusion they're going to let us in the White House. We want 5% to change the political landscape in America.
What does it do?
It gives us national major party status. It will include us in the debates in the next election. It makes the federal government have to do all the same things for the Republicans and Democrats, for the libertarians as well.
And then you run like a superstar?
Yeah, and then we run a superstar. They get into debates. We start being a party that someone can trust. So I'm not going to come out here and lie to everybody and be like, whoa, any libertarian candidate that's telling you he's going to win the presidency this year is a liar or suffering from delusions of grandeur. I mean, my goal is 5%, change the political landscape for the rest of eternity in the United States, make a national political party. Then you have a candidate that's actually circling the waters, making these people have to start governing like they campaign. Everything's different after that. Everything.
What's
forever.
the difference between running a third party and running independent?
So we fought for ballot access as libertarians already. We're going to get on the ballot, and our party will be on the ballot at least 40 something states. We may not get all 50 this year because we don't have the money, but the fact that there's already, it's just
how much money does it cost?
So it just depends. There's some states that are really bad, like Tennessee needs like 200,000 signatures to get on the ballot. We've been fighting Tennessee ballot access laws ever since I've been in the party, since like 2010. New York is very hard. Alabama has been very hard. Some states we have it already and it's easy, and some states we get it by running smaller down ballot candidates that get a certain percentage, and we've gotten it that way.
So you need signatures, not necessarily money?
Signatures and or money, yeah.
Or money? It's one or the other?
Some states are like that. Some states are just signatures.
What about taking over a state?
New Hampshire has been working on that for a long time, and I love the Free State Project. I think those guys have done a lot of really great stuff there. I don't know. I'm sure Phil would agree in some ways, right?
I think they're doing great things.
Yeah, I endorse the Free State Project for sure. I think that's a very smart idea. I talked about doing it in Iowa too. I think that Iowa's a very, very, very conservative, liberty-loving state too.
West Virginia is, but it's got to be cleaned up.
Yes,
there's a lot of red tape.
We didn't send a single Democrat to Washington from Iowa. Not one.
Wow.
Not a single one. You're welcome, America.
Yeah, I feel like West Virginia is ready to have a big evolution.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a Democrat state for a long time. What was it? Riley Moore. We've had him on the show several times. He's the first Republican treasurer. It's been Democrat. Yeah, he's fantastic, and he skates, skateboards.
Nice.
You're skating downstairs. He did a kickflip. Yeah, super cool.
It would be cool to have some sort of power in the state government.
I don't care about political power. It is interesting running a show like this and knowing as many people as I do, because it's an interesting perspective that I did not have when I was younger when it comes to the idea of like lobbying and how this stuff works. Like quite literally, there are people who are in office that will come on this show and have a conversation with me, and those exchange of ideas can influence laws in other parts. It's like it's really that
crazy.
simple often, just literally talking to a politician and they can draft something and they can change things. West Virginia has, I think, like 1.5 or so million people. Maybe it's 1.6. Maybe it's 1.3. I'm not sure. So it actually is substantially easier in a state like West Virginia or even New Hampshire, where the population is smaller.
Iowa is smaller than West Virginia, I believe.
Right.
It's right around the same. But during COVID, I went down to the state house there and lobbied with these guys. I got interviews. I did interviews with state legislators. We have great state legislatures.
That's why I want to do the Martinsburg project.
Yes.
It's like, I'm not going to go for a state. I'm just going to go for like a very small city.
County.
And well, it's Berkeley County.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Martinsburg is the town. But we've got properties in West Virginia, in Jefferson and Berkeley County. So this is the Eastern Panhandle. You've got basically what's happening is what I would describe as a woke incursion. Mm-hmm. This is MAGA country, unquestionably. Right now, where we do the studio, we're actually in Maryland. And because we operate out of the tri-state, which is Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia. But we're setting up all of the new studio stuff, all of the new stores. Everything is going to be in West Virginia. It is in West Virginia. And what we're finding is that the locals who are in these towns are getting increasingly frustrated with the people from D.C. who are coming out here and masquerading as MAGA, but secretly trying to implement woke and communist policies and Marxism and stuff like that. We saw it in local schools. The people would run for school board and be like, we want, church and faith and family. And then as soon as they get in, they'd be like, all right, bring in all of the weird, porn and everything for the kids.
Heretics, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you call them a heretic, but like, it's just, they're subversives. They're masquerading as,
right.
We're locals here and we want to do good. And then what do? They have drag shows with children in West Virginia. So my thought is like, as long as we're here and we're investing, I encourage everybody to come out to Martinsburg, Berkeley County. And what we'll do is effectively the Free City Project, where we just will help revitalize a small town.
Yeah.
There's legacy families who have businesses there. Their great grandparents founded and passed down to them, who have been complaining about how this wokeness keeps creeping in. They're seeing signs everywhere. These events are popping up and they feel like they're losing. I've had city councilmen say they're passing these pride resolutions against the wishes of the town. Thousands of people come out and protest, but it doesn't matter because they still sneak in and start passing these things. And I'm like, then we need to tell them no.
Yeah.
That's the communist playbook, man. I mean,
Right.
they've been telling us they were going to do these things for years and years and years. I mean, decades, generations.
Almost like having a centralized place where people go and sign some papers to affect everyone else is defunct.
Right.
It's just, we have so much respect. The constitutional Republicans. And I don't mean Republican political party. I mean those who believe in the constitutional republic.
All
of the United
Americans
States.
Are Republicans.
They are not.
We all are of the Republic, therefore
No.
Republican. Yes, we are.
That is incorrect because right now in places like Charlestown and in Martinsburg, in smaller other areas in West Virginia, you have multicultural Democrats, people who believe that the system should not be run by a constitution, but by the 50.1% majority.
Yeah,
and so and also it's not even about democracy in a great deal. It's about we are the better people who should rule over you.
Yes.
So they lie to get power, and then they vote for things against the wishes of the public to the consternation and protest, and they don't care.
Yeah.
And the only way you change it is if you get organized. And we have, say, like a Free City Project, and we come in and we say, push back.
I interrupted you. You were talking about centralized government in the Republic, and because I think it's I think sending people to a building somewhere to go sign paperwork to affect everybody else. Well, I cut you off and said that we're all Republican because we live in a republic.
So to carry on what I'm talking about, you have Marxists, people who believe in the concept of what they call multicultural democracy, and you have people who believe in constitutional republicanism. The people who are in West Virginia, for the most part, see their members of the city council. I shouldn't say all of West Virginia. I can only talk about where I'm at. And they passed in Charlestown a pride resolution recognizing Pride Month. Everyone's pissed off. They had a massive protest. All of these people protesting, marching. But how do they protest? They silently pray as they march to the city. But the people on the council don't care. All they care about is getting that political power. So you have all of these people who are really angry about what's going on, and they live there, but they respect the idea of the constitutional republic. So they don't do anything out of line. They simply say, well, we better vote next time. What are the Marxists and the multicultural democracists, whatever you want to call them, doing? Saying, just keep lying to them because we're smarter than they are, and then we can make change, and the cops will do as we say.
Alinsky tactics, for sure. And that's
hands down. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.